Hello. Today we're going to go through the geometry tools in PointKit Scan. So I'm going to load up a simple little bracket from some sample data, and I'm going to show you some of the things that you can do with the geometry tools. The geometry tools are quite powerful, even though the menu looks quite simple here. You can do a lot of different things. Some basic things you can do is to create some basic measurements. So let's say you have these two holes here from this bracket, and you want to measure what's the distance between the two holes. So from here you can create a circle object and then we're going to do it using click 3 points. There's lots of different ways to do a lot of these entities, but the 3 points method is nice and simple. So we've created a circle here, create a circle over here, and this gives us two circles. So if we want to do measurements, literally we can click these two items, and it'll give us the circle center distance from circle 1 to circle 0. And that's something very straightforward that you can do. So we're going to delete this next. Another common operation is creating planes. And you can do it using create multiple points. Or if you want something a little bit more to sample more of the surface of the mesh, you can do it using region, and you can do that using paintbrush selection. So you can create a plane simply like that. You can also vary the size of your paintbrush also by using your middle mouse button to see how big of a paintbrush you want to do. So you can do that, and it creates a very accurate plane. Once you've created the plane, you can do a lot of different things to it, including creating profiles using the plane, creating cut planes, as well as converting it into a mesh. So if you create it into a mesh, it just converts it from a geometry entity to a mesh entity. And a very useful thing about this is now you can use that to create a deviation view, or a simple deviation view, if that's what you're looking for. Then you can check the distance between your surface versus a perfectly flat plane. So I'm going to walk through the most complicated example of using the geometry entities, which is to create a coordinate system. If you look at our object that we have here, this bracket, we can show the bounding box and we'll show the axes. If you look at it, you can see that the bounding box and the coordinate axes isn't in a very convenient place. And when I draw the ground plane, you can see where the center point is. If you're going to 3D print or convert this to CAD, the first thing you want to do is to move the geometry into what's known as that's the 0, point, which is you want to move this and you want to center the object around, let's say, a certain point in this mesh. In this case, we'll do it around this little hole here. So I'm going to use the geometry tools to show you how you would do that. So first of all, I'm going to set the center point in the middle of this hole. I'll do that using a circle. There we go. And then I can create a point from a geometry center, which is from the circle. So it gives me the circle as well as the point in the middle of it. So that's my point 0, and that'll be my center point. Next, I think I want my axes to point downwards, so I'm going to create a plane down here. And I'm going to do it from region selection again. So I have a point and a plane. I'm going to create another point from point to plane. Just select the point and the plane. Let's create, and then it creates another one. Now, usually what I do is after I've created entities, I hide it if I'm not interested in seeing them anymore. And you can toggle the labels using this button up here too, which is very useful when you just want to quickly look at things. And then lastly, I'll create another plane here. region selection, created that. I've created an error point, and I'll hide that plane. So now I have a center point and two axes, and that's all I need to create an axis. So I can do from 3 existing points. I'll pick point 0 as my center point, and point 1 and 2 as my other points that I'm interested in. You would hold the control button to just to select multiple, and you can see a preview of the axes here, which is the center point. Point 0 is my center, point 1 as my x-axis, and point 2 as my y-axis. I don't really care which one is which, just as long as it centers the object. So I've created an axis. And now if I want to apply this axis, it's very simple. I just go corner axis, apply to bracket. And now it's done. It's applied to the bracket. So now if I show it, you can see that the bracket is right aligned onto my plane. There's one more step that you have to do because this is simply just a preview. You have to click that bracket, press edit, transform, rebase. And that would now move the bracket and center it around this new coordinate system so it looks correct.